Alright, hi everybody. I wanted to do a quick live demonstration here on how to identify sentences in the language of Sentinel logic, that is good, well-formed grammatical sentences that are allowed by the syntax of Sentinel logic as opposed to just meaningless strings of symbols that are thrown together. And we're also going to take a look at how to identify the main the main connectives of these sentences. Operators is another word for connectives that's used by a lot of textbooks, so you'll frequently hear me refer to connectives as operators. Those mean the same thing, operator, connective. All right, this first sentence here, this is an atomic sentence. It's just the letter P by itself. We call that an atomic sentence because it can't be taken apart any farther. An atomic sentence, one letter by itself, is always an okay sentence. So this is a sentence of Sentinel logic. It's well formed according to the syntactical rules of the language. So this one's okay. Notice it's not enclosed in parentheses. We don't enclose single letters in parentheses in this language. So something like this, that's not okay. All right? This is also not okay. You can't just put two letters together like this. There has to be some kind of connective in between them. So this is no good. What about this? This is okay. This is what we call a negation. It's an atomic letter or an atomic sentence with a tilde. So it's a sentence and its main connective is the tilde. So it's a negation. Notice that negations are not put in parentheses either. That would not be a sentence. But this is okay like this. Now, what about this? This is not okay. The reason is unlike the tilde, the ampersand is a binary connective. It needs two things. You can't just say P and, okay? So there has to be something over here on the right. But we can easily fix that. There we go. That's okay. And so we have a conjunction here, and the main connective is this ampersand. So how about this guy? Well, this one, it's a little more complicated. This is actually not a sentence. The reason for that is it has an uneven number of parentheses. So let's take a look at this. This has a friend over here. This has a friend here. This and this go together, so we have this one here that's got nothing. It's not paired up with anything. So we need to fix that by going like this. Okay, so this one's okay now. Now what's the main connective of this sentence? This is a pretty complicated sentence, but I can see right away that this horseshoe is the main connective. How am I doing that so quickly? Well, like I said, there's a rule of thumb. The connective that's under the least number of parentheses, or it's got the least number of parentheses surrounding it, is the main connective, right? This horseshoe, it's only got one set of parentheses surrounding it. It's this outer set, the square set. All these other connectives, they have at least two sets of parentheses surrounding them. The horseshoe only has one, so the horseshoe's the main connective. It scopes over this entire thing. What about these other connectives? This V here, this V just connects the G and E. Okay, so this is a disjunction here. The V just scopes over the G and E. This tilde, it only scopes over the H. This is a negation here. This conditional here, it scopes over the K and B. So this is a material conditional sentence. And this ampersand, it makes a conjunction out of the not H on its left and the conditional with the K horseshoe B on the right. So the overall form of this sentence is that of a material conditional. Its main operator is a horseshoe. What about 6 here? 6 is actually exactly the same as 7. Exactly the same as 5. We just drop these outer parentheses, all right? And we do that for readability. A lot of the time when these sentences get long, they can get very difficult to read. There's a lot going on in them, and it helps to take the outer parentheses off. That's always okay to do. You don't have to do it, but I recommend doing it. It makes it easier to read what you're doing. Notice it's only the very outer ones we can take off. Anything else would result in something that we don't really know how to read because we don't know what order to look at the connectives in. Now, how about 7 here? 7 is a sentence. Everything has the right number of arguments. The binaries have 2. The unaries have 1, right? And it has an even number of parentheses, so it's okay. It's a sentence. It's not violating any of the rules. What's the main connective here? Well, look, this negation symbol, this tilde, it's outside of everything. It's outside of all the parentheses over here by itself. So that's the main connective or the main operator of this sentence. This sentence overall has the form of a negation. What about these other symbols? Well, this ampersand, it connects this P and Q, so this is a conjunction sentence here. This conditional, it connects this R and S, so this is a material conditional sentence here. This tilde, this negation symbol, it scopes over this conjunction here on its right, so this is a negated conjunction, and this disjunction connects this negated conjunction on its left and this material conditional on its right, and all of that is covered by this negation symbol on the left. What about 8 here? 8's not a well-formed sentence. Notice that we have this binary operator here that's only connected to one thing. It's just connected to this Q. So that's no good. But we can fix that, no problem. All right, so this is okay now. Now, what's the main connective here? Notice we have 2 that are outside of any parentheses. So how do we decide? It's the binary operator that's going to take precedence. Okay, so the main connective here is this V symbol. So this is a disjunction. All right.